But if you're an explorer at heart and you feel like you want to create something new, Belize really is the place. Sounds good.
All right. So tell me a little bit. You American, am I correct?
Yes, I'm Belizean and American. I moved here about 24 years ago. I've been in real estate for maybe 15, 20 years in different aspect of real estate. I'm a licensed agent here in Florida. And also a member of the real estate board in Belize, even though real estate is not regulated in Belize.
Really? Good heavens. Can
Yeah,
you believe it? So
yeah.
are you currently located in Florida or are you located in Belize?
I'm located in Florida, but I'm actually heading there tomorrow. I go back and forth.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you said you're traveling.
Yes,
All
yes.
right. Fantastic. It's nice to have you on. My entire purpose of this channel is to help people that is thinking of immigrating to a
Okay,
different country just to understand what are the challenges that they are going to be facing
right.
and how difficult or how easy is it for them to actually move to places? I did interview a lady about 3 years ago that was Belizean, and or she immigrated from South Africa
Okay.
to Belize, and she really found it extremely difficult. And the interesting thing is that South Africa is a developing country. And
It's
I would have,
developing, but it's way ahead of Belize, even though it's developing.
so that's probably what happened to her. She basically, I think, expected almost something similar to South Africa and
Right.
got there and it was completely different for her. So I'm very happy to have you on, just to maybe because you obviously deal with a lot of immigrants and people that are going there.
Yes.
So, do you want to maybe just tell us a little bit about the challenges that you see for people coming to Belize? What are the biggest things, whether it's food, whether it's security? What are the challenges that people are really dealing with when they go to Belize?
So Belize is tiny, population wise. Sometimes I don't think people appreciate how small it is. But even though it is very tiny, it is extremely diverse. So you have to know my biggest suggestion always is visit the country before you decide if you're going to move there. And then you have to decide what part of the country you want to move to. Because there's different aspects to it. If you move down south, that might be more farming and fishing communities. If you move up north, it's near Mexico, and you could access a lot of US quality products as you cross the border. It's a very 7 mile drive into Mexico, Chetumal being their closest city. Um, and then you could go Cayo. Cayo is more a productive sector that have the Mennonites who are German immigrants who moved to Belize and they live like the Amish. They live within their community, but they are the farmers. They are one of the most productive sectors. You have a lot of cattle farming in the Cayo district. That's where the government services are. Belize City, being the oldest city, um, that's where you would call the economic zone. Some people might fear it because that's where it's a city, so there's more issues with violence. Sometimes that's there, not directed to foreigners. It's mostly um, crime within the own network, gang related type stuff. And then you
Mm,
have the keys that are very much developed. Key, it's island, it is hotels, a very big expat communities. Within Belize, there's all these different expat communities. There's predominantly Americans. Canadians and Europeans. Those are the predominant expats that are there, and they have created their communities in Corozal, in San Pedro, Key San Ignacio, Belmopan. It's just starting in Belmopan, Hopkins, Placencia. So those are the hotspots for the expat community.
Yeah, I saw
There's
that
all
because we actually thought of going to Belize. The reason also why I'm doing this is I'm literally we have been overseas. We've been to the US, but that was many years ago. We absolutely love the US. But for South Africans, it's a challenge to go to the US, let me tell you. And we've been to Singapore, and I absolutely did not like Singapore at all. So I said to my husband, it is so important to really connect with people that are there, that's on the ground, so that you get a real life feeling of what it's like. And
right,
I looked at Belize, and then I started talking to a couple of people, and I immediately said to my husband, I don't know if Belize is our place. We come from
right,
a beautiful country that is totally unsafe. There is so much crime in South Africa. And I think the one thing that was a little bit off-putting was the crime rate in
right.
Belize.
So Belize, like I said, the crime rate, it's not really affecting the expat communities. It's really concentrated in a very small area of Belize. But you still have to always remind people it's not a first world country. You're not going into a first world environment. I think what people love about Belize is that the population is only 400,000 people.
Yeah, that's
A
very
lot of people,
little.
yeah. And what it is, there's a lot of land in Belize and a lot of opportunities for people to create their own communities. And I think that's what the expat communities really love about it, that they can go in, create their own environment. And so if you go within the expat communities, it's some of it is almost like the US. It's very developed. And then there are other people who want to live off the grid. So they're living maybe with a lot of jungle and stuff like that. There are some people that just want to be there, retired, and have a party to go to every night. Those are existing too, which is the island type communities. Um, so it all depends on what you want. And that's why I always tell people visit. If you want to do farming, it's awesome for farming. If you want to do cattle, or if you want to create an industry, the land is there to create it. If you just want to retire and have a network of people, it's there. There's no trains in Belize. And so public transportation is challenging because the government is working on it, but to me, it's ridiculously long that they're taking to upgrade their public transportation.
Mm,
Most people use off-road vehicles just because you're going to meet in the rural areas, areas where there are roads, but they're not paved type roads.
yeah,
Um, the Mennonite community is an awesome community to visit. They still speak German in their schools. Some of them still live very primitively, I guess, I don't know if that's the right word. Um, and then some of them have modernized. They found oil in their community. So at one point they were trading oil. So there's a lot of potential because it's so tiny. And I think it would be somebody who wants to create something. That's where I think Belize is attractive to people who are creative, whether or not it's within the business industry, whatever it's, or you want to go in and create your own space.
yeah,
It kind of it creates that's really I think the appeal of people who are moving to Belize, that they can, it's almost like a discoverer, a pioneer, going into something new and creating it.
Yeah.
If you got something that's well established, Belmopan is there. It's more like a little suburban, tiny town, but that's where all the embassies are. That's where the government services are. That's far more developed, very safe community. So that's there too. We're not going to get the Singapore and the United States level buildings and services without a doubt, because Singapore is well developed.
Oh
Uh,
yes, but it's overdeveloped, I would say.
yeah, yeah.
There's so many people on a very tiny island, and it's almost like a pressure cooker. It's just too much. I couldn't handle it.
Well, we're the opposite of that. We're a little people on a big type
In a big
space.
piece of land, yes.
Yeah.
So tell me, do you think it's easy for expats to actually go and start new industries or new businesses there, or is there a lot of bureaucracy? What's the processes like when people go there to actually open businesses or to become creative, like you say?
So it all depends. So, example, there are some industries that the government will protect that are Belizeans, but it's not a lot of industries. It's certain aspect with like say you want to do beer production because some people are doing crafting. Well, there's a major beer company and
Yes.
Coca-Cola, and they have they're kind of protected under the system. But the government is always looking for new opportunities. And they have this, it's a quasi-government institution called Beltrade. And they help if you want to come in and create a new industry, they actually help you with going through the regulations and everything. So you don't have to go there and figure everything out.
Wow, that's very good.
Yeah, so if there is a possibility that if you
Oh,
come with a business idea, it's there. If you're retiring, the government just updated before they didn't allow people to come in and create businesses if they're retired. They have changed that. So if you come in as a retiree, you can create a business. If you have a consulate there, and I'm not sure South Africa has one, but I could check.
I don't
They
think
might
so.
They might have one. They might have because sometimes other embassies would be representative of your embassy. So I'd have to check. I would reach out and find out to see if there is a contact for South Africa, because even the embassies and stuff really help their expats when they're there.
Yeah.
Um, and the US being the biggest, they're the biggest. They take care of their people. Um, but I don't think it's a problem. I think they're making it easy for expats to move there. I don't know. I know the US, UK, and the EU don't need a visa for 30 days. I would have to
South
find out.
Africa also, we don't need a visa
Okay.
to go to Belize.
Yeah. So that's that already where a lot of people use that opportunity to go explore.
Yes.
After 30 days, I think you do require a visa to stay.
Mm.
But it's not difficult to create industries. Many times the government wants you to create something. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, shame.
So they want you to create something so that they can create employment for people. So if you're coming in there and you're creating something that is employment, and I'll tell you, think about all the expats that are there and what services they're used to and what's not there. That's a potential for a business right
Of
there,
course, yes.
right?
It sounds like there's a lot of potential.
There's a story that this American lady went to Belize to retire. She decided to open was it a coffee shop? Must have been a coffee shop. Just because, Americans are coffee connoisseurs and she was
Yes.
kind of catering to that. She said it got so busy for her. It became a full-time job that she ended up having to sell that business because she came there to retire.
And she
She
got
didn't
too busy.
get too busy. The demand was so high because it
That
was something that wasn't being offered.
Yes,
And she thought, oh, yeah, I'll just have a little coffee shop type stuff. So,
that's a good problem to have.
yes, right. If you want to have it, but apparently she didn't, you know.
Sure, can you believe
But
it?
but it shows you, for example, if you go to Belize and cross the border into Mexico,
Yeah,
that border town is literally creating the services that they know that some Belizeans and expats want. So people are crossing the border so that they
go
can
and
facilitate.
use their facilities.
Right. So the opportunity is there.
That's very
There is,
good.
there is some bureaucracy in doing certain things, but I think you can get through it because the potential is there to grow. Um,
So my next question is how does the Belizean people feel about expats coming in? Are they open and are they happy to receive these expats and the new things that they bring along with them?
so I don't think there's an expat issue. I think a lot of expats on a generally do affiliate with themselves. They live in their own communities.
Yeah,
But a lot of expats are married to Belizeans too. Belize is so diverse. They're used to diversity.
yeah,
Uh, Growing up, Belize was a colony and we had the British living there. We've always had Americans there. We had a lot of Australians for some reason, but that
okay.
has always been Belize. Belize has always been a diverse community. So
Yeah,
it's not like people are not used to the expats, you know?
yes, yeah. And I think because it's such a beautiful island, because it's very pretty, it's a beautiful island, aesthetically very pleasing. Um, that's probably also why people keep on going there, and specifically people in the north that runs away from the snow.
Right.
Snowbirds, they call them.
Yes,
See, we
yes.
have a lot of that in South Africa. People
Oh,
come
we have
from
it in
Europe.
Florida. They're messing up the traffic right now in Florida.
I know.
All the snowbirds.
I'm gonna get your email. I've got your number. I'm gonna send you some pictures of where I live in Hermanus. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No,
It,
but I would love to visit South
It
Africa.
is beautiful. It is the most beautiful little coastal town, about 2 hours away from Cape Town. So we on the other side of the mountain. It is just stunning. But this time of the year, we get the whole of South Africa. South Africa comes to visit us. We can't go nowhere. We stay indoors because the
Yes.
traffic is just madness. But it's
So,
good. It's a good influx of new money or money from upcountry coming into the town. So it helps our businesses.
and I think with Belize, because it's so tiny, you're not in each other's space because there's
Yes.
so much land. So people can get land and do their own thing. They create
Yeah.
their own purpose and communities and farming.
Yeah.
Or the
That,
one thing I will say a challenge would be housing. And I
um,
mentioned that I'm working with a bunch of developers that are going to start offering new homes because I work with a developer, by the way. I do business with him. And
yeah.
one of the things I told him was the average expat can't come to Belize and build a house. It would be so bureaucratic for them to walk into
Uh,
Belize and try to figure out where the land department is, where this department. Offer a package, like offer a building package. And that's where I feel a lot of demand is. We have a lot of people who want to retire in Belize,
yes.
not necessarily they want to buy. So there's a lot of people that are creating lifetime rentals where you could come and just rent it for 10 years, 5 years, however long you want to stay there.
Yeah.
Uh, so that they don't have to deal with any of the probate issues if they pass away. They just, this is where I live, this is where I retire. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of potential. It's like you're looking at a brand new country. It's only started 81.
Sure, that's fantastic, man. I mean, my head's going, there's that.
Yeah.
And I was in property for many years as well, so I love property. What
Right.
about eco villages? Is there things like that? Have they started exploring eco villages? Because I'm myself interested in something like that
So that is big. The ecotourism is big because
because of the
uh,
land. Yeah.
land and conservation. So we have a lot of reserved areas in Belize,
Yes.
um, where they have a jaguar reserve. You can't go hunting in those areas. You can't develop it.
Good.
Um, so there are a lot of eco tourism. There's some islands where the entire island is ecotourism. In fact, when Britney Spears went to Belize, this is a joke. She went to an ecotourism, eco lodge
Yes.
that didn't have air conditioning, but she doesn't realize the eco lodge doesn't would have air conditioning, and she tweeted about it.
Sweet.
And it went so viral. People were so upset in Belize
Oh,
because
Shana.
she made such a big deal about the lack of air conditioning, and they're like,
Oh,
"It's an
Lord.
eco type stuff." So yeah, there's a lot of people who explore that they offer that aspect of it. There's a lot of people who with the tourism sector, um it's beautiful, some of the things that they've done within that ecotourism sector. San Ignacio is big on it
Mm.
because San Ignacio have all the Maya temples, they have
Oh,
all
no.
rivers, they have mountains. And so it's beautiful in that district. That district is, to me, the most, and I'm from there, so I'm a little bit biased. I'm from the Kaya district. I
Oh,
just think the
really?
Kaya district is one of the most beautiful,
Yeah.
diverse, um, even diverse in economy, diverse in people, diverse in cultures. I think Kaya
Lovely.
district is nice.
It sounds idyllic. So
Yeah.
in Panama, I think it's called Panama Relocation Tours. Is
Okay.
is there something like that in Belize? There's this lady in Panama that offers relocation tours, so she gets people and she takes them around Belize to show them different areas and how, the lay of the land, but
I'm
also,
glad that you said that because that's what I offer. I I actually we've done two before. We try to keep the group at 10 because I think if it's more than 10 people, it's too many diverse ones, and Belize is diverse with the offerings. So
yes,
what we do, we bring them to Belize. We kind of give them a tour slash vacation. We introduce you, we have like a get together, we introduce you to the government officials. We have like a little presentation from them where they present to you and tell you what the government offers for people who want to relocate. You can have one-on-one conversations with them. We take you on the different tours within the productive sector. If you're, for example, if you're interested, for example, in agriculture, we would ask somebody within that sector, can we tour your farm? They would allow the tour. And what we try to do, we try to match make you based on your interest in what you, so you do ecotourism. We would want to take you within that ecotourism tour so that you can have a conversation with some of these owners and different sectors so that you get a better idea from a professional rather than me telling you. You talk to them directly, they tell you what their challenges are, and we try to do like a spa free day where you get to explore yourself. So you tell us what you want, what you're looking for. If you don't know what you're looking for, we come up with a schedule and we take you to places. Keep in mind, Belize again is diverse. And
yes,
so 5 days, or tours are normally 5 days. You won't get in Belize in 5 days. So if you want
no,
it longer, it would probably, you're coming from South Africa,
yeah,
you'd probably prefer 10 days.
yes.
10 days is a good opportunity to get to see the different sectors. We also
And
have the
areas,
indigenous.
definitely. I mean, it sounds like it's quite big, and a person want to Also not rush it too much and try and see as much as you possibly can about, because this is an information tour or an
Right.
information vacation, if you want to call it that.
Good one. And
Yes,
it's a networking opportunity too. You get these people numbers, you get to make connections. And so
wonderful.
they help make your move easier where you're like, hey, I remember meeting this person. Let me call them. Let me email them.
Yeah.
Most people are on WhatsApp in Belize. I don't know if you use it there, but it's
Yes,
very
yes. All
effective.
the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So WhatsApp is a great way of communicating, and Belizeans are very responsive, they're very friendly, and they're always willing to help people. So when you get there, you really get to see the country firsthand, and you really get to experience things. For example, the weather conditions, like Belize has two weather conditions, hot and rainy. We don't really get winter.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that you want to see. Am I able to sustain this summer? Because our summer, it is a tropical climate.
Yes, yes.
And then when it rains, it becomes, it is
It really rains.
yeah, they call it the rainforest for a reason, right?
Yes.
So it's all these different environments too. Um, and we have lakes, we have
Oh,
lagoons,
it sounds
rivers
beautiful.
and sea. So it's all these different types of um, topography that you're
Yes.
dealing with, swamp to mountains. In
Gosh,
the so it all depends on where you want to be, what you want to do. But if you're an explorer at heart and you feel like you want to create something new, Belize really is the place. It's a blank canvas right now.
wonderful.
I tell people Belize is where Costa Rica was 10 years ago.
Sure.
How many people probably said, man, if I'd invested, for example, I work with this developer. He has land right now, half acre land that he is selling for something like 55 US.
Yeah,
1 acre lots, 55 US.
that's nothing. Gosh,
That's nothing right now, but think about 10 years from today, they won't be, those lots aren't even going to be available anymore
of
because
course.
within
Yeah,
developed areas. So
yeah,
it's all these opportunities right now. If you're thinking, man, I'm an investor, because that's there too. I'm an investor, and I see the interest growing. We see people coming in. Um, the hotels, we don't have enough hotels. Could you imagine the Minister of Tourism said that the demand is getting so high during the tourist season, which starts now
yes,
until April,
yeah,
there's not enough hotels to accommodate the demand. So a lot of people now are looking into Airbnbs. That's another point of opportunity for them to, use the Airbnb factor because one guy told me, and I don't know this personally, but I'm quoting him. He
yeah,
said he started his Airbnb and it's like he's printing money. That's what he told me.
yeah.
He said the amount of demand it was unimaginable the demand that he got from it. So
Gosh, it's interesting. You see, these are the things that I think South Africans are looking for, not just South Africans,
right, right.
people in general.
Yes,
Because I think the era of going to Portugal and going to Italy, and a lot of us South Africans flooded Europe
right,
when we
right,
could, when the opportunity was there. The US has always been a little bit tricky for us because we've got no treaty with America. It's always been tricky, which is so sad.
right.
But it is what it is. So people went north. They went to Portugal and Europe and, Italy, those places. That's getting a little bit overcrowded now. Now they're looking at other options. And this is where I absolutely see an opportunity. I love what you are doing. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. I think what we need to do, we're running out of time, but I would love you to maybe just let's connect on WhatsApp I would
Sure,
like to get all of your details and let's put it on this YouTube channel. And I would
sure.
like us to collaborate a little bit more and talk about opportunities. Let's get people onto you so that they know what they're going to. I think that is
And
crucial.
yes, I would love to collaborate with you. Please use me as a contact. I am from Belize originally. I go there very often. I've been there maybe 7 times this year. And I love to show it. And one of the things that you said about all the people going to Europe, well, and now the Europeans are moving to Belize. We have
Exactly.
the US said that 30,000 Americans have moved to Belize.
Wow.
30,000. And that's just the ones who have registered with the US Embassy.
Exactly.
There's
Yes.
a lot of people who move that don't necessarily register. So
Yes.
I just want to give you the idea that 30,000 people within a population of 400,000, there's
It's
a
a
sig
lot.
and
Yes.
that's just Americans. That's not the Canadians and that's not the Europeans because the ability, the space that's available is, so happy to help.
Fantastic.
If you guys want to visit, please reach out to me. I'll give you my contact. And
Wonderful.
I will add you to my newsletter. Please share it because I do a newsletter and I share information about Belize. That's why I'm
Wonderful.
going down. I was invited down for me, somebody to for view their development. And
Yes.
so just to offer more information, I'll be happy to do that.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad I connected with you. I think the information that that we're giving, we need to keep on doing this, and we might connect again a little bit later on
Yeah.
different aspects. We spoke a lot about homing and housing and the diversity of Belize, but we might want to have a conversation about food and the lifestyle and all of those things. So, but I've got your contact details and I'm going to send you a WhatsApp right now so that
Okay,
we're
great.
on WhatsApp. I want to get all your information and I'm definitely going to promote you and put the word out there. People need to know these things.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And food, I know we have 7 minutes, but food, it's a cuisine heaven. Okay, that's the only way I could say it because of the diversity of all the different cultures. And just to give you an idea for cultures, we have an Indian community, we have expat community, we have the Mennonites, we have the indigenous people, you have the African descent people, then you have the Central Americans that are there. All these people are blending their food together, and
Wonderful.
people who come from other countries that are not as diverse as Belize, that's their number one thing. Man, the food is ridiculously awesome.
I
So
saw
that's how you know.
crayfishes. I saw how many big, huge crayfish you guys take out of
Ah,
the ocean there. Oh
see,
man.
it's crazy. It's delicious. It's ridiculous. That's why when you go to Belize, make sure you have an exercise plan because, oh my God, it's
put on
ridiculous.
weight put on weight but luckily when because it's tropical you do a lot of exercise and drink a lot of fluids.
Yes, yes. But and the thing is with the thing is with it is that the food is also ridiculously cheap
Really.
because it's a lot of local. I always tell people go to the local
Yeah.
places, go around and say, hey, give me a good local restaurant. Let the locals tell you where it is. You walk out of there with a plate for like $5 sometimes.
Gosh.
It's ridiculously, that's why people like it too. The cost of living is ridiculously affordable. So
Yeah, that's
those are,
important. We need to look at those things.
yes, yes. So thank you so much for the opportunity to
It
talk.
was lovely having a chat with you. I love doing this because I meet new people, I make friends all over the world, and
Yeah,
it's just so awesome to connect with real people, not just
yeah,
via the internet or
yeah.
Google, and you actually get to know what is going on in that country. So it was lovely, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We'll definitely connect again.
Sure. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Keep
Yeah.
well. Bye bye.